Looking to buy a new meat probe for your Weber? Then this could be the video for you. Don't forget, if you use the video today, there are links in the description below for the best place to get those barbecue products. Make sure you check those out at the end of this video. Alright, Weber fans, welcome back to the channel. So this one's been requested, and don't forget Black Friday's coming up and Christmas sales. I'm just doing a quick review of a couple of meat probes and the benefits and negatives on those probes. So what we'll do is dive straight into it. Now, whether you're cooking on the Weber kettle, Weber Genesis, or even the Weber Q, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be cooking with that lid down. Now, you want to get a perfect steak or that perfect chicken breast. Obviously, you want to get that temperature spot on. Now, the easiest way to do that is with a meat thermometer. You can go for the cheap ones. This is one I started out with first, and it's a Pyrex one, and then I upgraded to some Weber thermometers. Now, I'm going to go through the two that I use, and I'm also going to be sharing my thoughts on both of them. Now, we've got to start somewhere, and when I started off cooking on my Weber barbecue, I started with a Pyrex meat probe. Now, this has been pretty good over the years, but the only problem is with the Weber, you've got to keep that lid closed as long as possible, and when you open the lid, all the heat's going to escape. Now, this one here does take a fair amount of time, purely because as we look at the end, it's really thick, so it takes a while for that temperature to get up there, but this was only $20. The temperatures aren't that accurate on this. What I found with this cheap one was it would say for chicken, it says 82 degrees Celsius. Now the safe zone for chicken, 74 Celsius in Australia, so 82, it's going to be quite dry. You can go for a little bit more of a quality product. So I'll put this one to one side and I'll show you what you can get for an extra $10. Right, so next up we've got the Weber Instant Read Thermometer. This is a fantastic product. As you can see, the probe's quite thick there, but it does go pretty thin on the end, so it's going to instantly read it pretty quick. Also, when we turn it on, we've got a massive display. You can flick it from Fahrenheit to Celsius, which works really well. They are pre-calibrated, so there's no way of recalibrating this if it does start to play up. But what I find is this temperature has been consistent on this probe over the last 3 years. They did come with a little plastic sleeve, which have lost over the years, so that's the only downer I've found with this probe. It works really well, obviously, as you open that lid, and it gives you a pretty quick instant read within about 3 to 4 seconds. The temperature ranges on these from 32 degrees Fahrenheit up to 446 degrees Fahrenheit. I will put on screen what that is in Celsius. And again, the Weber 6750 Instant Read Meat Thermometer is pretty fast. You've got the stainless steel probe as well. And the only downside to it is it isn't waterproof. So if you drop it in the sink by accident or get this wet, it will stop working. Also in the back, what we've got is a flat battery. So it uses those flat cells. And in the back, we use the standard Duracell 2032 cell. There is no recalibration in here. Like I said, it comes pre-calibrated. And the only downer is obviously it uses these cells instead of the normal battery, but that keeps it quite thin. And the battery will last at least 2 years. So apart from the little plastic end that I've lost and it not being waterproof, for the money, this is a great meat probe. Right, so next up, we've got the Weber Snap Check Thermometer. And this is known as the Weber 6753. Now, this comes with a flip out probe, so it won't activate until you press the lock button. So press that, and out it goes. You can also move that probe around one more, literally by pressing that and moving it around by hand. So that means you can go into the meat that way, or you can leave it in that position and then slide it in that way, or just go on in the top. You've got readings on the top here, so at the moment it's set for Celsius. If you want to adjust that to Fahrenheit, the only downer is you do have to take the back off, and I'll demonstrate. So to undo the back, you've got 2 little screws there. Slide that out, and you can see it runs with 2 AAA batteries. On the back here, you've got a set button and a mode button. What that lets you do is if we press the mode button, that will flash. We can then press the set button and flick that to Fahrenheit if we want, or back to Celsius. Press the mode button again. That will give you number 1, so you can press the set button again, and then you can go plus or minus 1. You can adjust the brightness of it as well. So you can lower it down again with that mode button. So you can go just 1, 2, 3, or 4, however bright you want it. And then on the next one, you've got the temperature. So at the moment, it's pre-calibrated as it came from the factory, but you can go literally 2 degrees higher or 2 degrees lower. If we press our set button, we can go +1, 2 degrees above, or -1 degree, or -2 degrees, depending how far it's out. So we'll set that back to 0. This reads pretty accurate as it is. And then just press our set button. And there we go. So just put that back on. Slide that on. Put our 2 little screws in. And you can see that's still reading 24 degrees. So this is pretty accurate as it is at the moment. We compare it to the Instaprobe. It's reading 24, so they're pretty close and pretty in comparison with each other. So it's around ½ a degree difference between them, which isn't too bad. Now these do read within 2 to 3 seconds, pretty quick at reading that temperature. What I like about this as well is just the fact it is a little bit quicker than this one, but it does come out as a premium. Where this is around $30–40, this is around $180 Australian. They both come with stainless steel probes on the end, and they are hand washable. You can't submerge these in water, so just be aware of that. If you do submerge them in water, they will stop working. They're not waterproof, they're just water resistant on the end. Favourite things about this is obviously press that and it pops out. To put it back in, you've got to press that lock button to slide it back in. So there is a chance that you may break it if you try and force it, or if someone doesn't know how to work it. But that lock is pretty self-explanatory. It comes with a pretty readable surface. And all that, I think it's a fantastic probe. So both these probes have been fantastic. If you're on a budget, I'd definitely go for the instant read thermometer. If you've got a little bit of extra cash, then I'd definitely go for this one as well. So I use both of these quite a lot, and I find they are fantastic products. Like I said, the only disadvantage is if you want to change the batteries or adjust the settings, you've got to undo the screws on the back here, where with this one, if you want to change the settings, it's all on the front. So it's pretty quick just to change that. The only downer with this, you obviously can't change the brightness, and you can't adjust the temperature as it's just preset at what it was at the factory. Whereas with this one, you can calibrate it inside and adjust it when you calibrate it with a cup of ice. But it does come pre-calibrated in the box from the factory. So I'd highly recommend both these products. Yes, they're Weber. I have got other products that I have done reviews on, and I will put an icon above a link into another thermometer that I tested out as a sponsored review. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that quick review. And you can start off with your budget probe. These work really well. Like I said, the temperature on this wasn't the best. It does set the temperature at more of a higher safe zone, but I do prefer to go off these manually. The only difference is obviously you've got no adjustment on these. You've got to know what temperature that your meat's going to cook at, whether that be chicken, fish or poultry. Just Google it 9 times out of 10. So you can't preset these. That's the only downer. They're not waterproof again, so you can't submerge them. And the only difference between them really is the fact that this one, you've got adjustment on there, but you can't calibrate it. And then on this one, you can slightly calibrate it from the rear. You just have to undo those screws as I showed in the video, but it gives a pretty quick instant read. So you haven't got that Weber lid open too long so all the heat escapes. Now there will be links down below, so make sure you take advantage of those Black Friday deals. These are on special at the moment, and those running from the 18th of November up until the end of the month. And for those of you looking investing in a barbecue, then check out this video. And then for those of you who want to see my review on the Weber rotisserie, check out this video. So thanks for watching, happy grilling, and I'll catch you next one.